What's up, everyone? Welcome. Here we are on weekly stream. Really excited to be here. As always, this is the first time me making this recipe. I love when you follow along. I love when you make comments. Join me in experimenting my first time. Today, I'm inspired by Birra Quesa tacos, and I decided to make them into spring rolls. The reason, if you haven't had birra tacos, they're really popular right now. They're so delicious. It's like a shredded beef mixture, and they cook the beef in this like beef stew stuff. And then you take the beef out, you make the tacos, and then you dip the whole taco into the stew mixture. So it's really delicious. They're very trendy the past year or so. And I thought it'd be fun to make them into spring rolls because like the way you make them, the tacos are crispy. So it really, I think, works well. So let's get started, always. Here we go. I have an onion. We're going to use that in a little bit. But I have the meat mixture here that I have been cooking this for a few hours. Normally, I like to do these recipes from start to finish, right? But obviously, I wasn't going to sit here for 3 hours with you all while I was cooking the birra. This looks incredible. So let's see, what are we going to do here? I'm going to take all the meat out of this. I have some tongs here. And you know that this is cooked when basically like you can grab a piece of meat and then just like it falls apart, right? So I'm going to take all these out and put them into here. And we're basically saving this liquid as like the dipping sauce for the spring rolls. So basically I was thinking like, you dip the tacos into a liquid. So it's kind of like a fun twist, I guess. Because like usually spring rolls have a dipping liquid. It's like, oh, this actually is like a perfect little twist. So let me tell you guys what I cooked this meat in. It was, first I took like a few ancho chilies and chipotle chilies and toasted them in a pan. And then I pulled them out and put them in some water. Yes, we love this Laker set. Actually, this was a wedding gift from a blogger friend, Bianca. Well, a real friend, but we sort of met through blogging. And you can check out her website, Confessions of a Chocoholic. But yes, great pan. At first I was trying to saute in it more and stuff was getting stuck on the bottom, but I realized like it's just best for braising. Well, it's called a braiser, so I guess it makes sense that it's braising. That's what you should do in it. Hey Rich, welcome. How you doing? So I'm gonna take this liquid and keep it over here, and we're going to keep it warm, and that's going to be the dipping sauce. What's up, Dr. Thunder? Oh, beef burger. Oh, nice. We love that around here. But I've never made it, actually, surprisingly. Where'd you get the recipe? Let me know which is the best recipe to use. First attempt. Well, I guess you won't know if it's the best recipe to use until later. So there's chilies in there, like I said, and then I sauteed some onions, tons of garlic, some cumin, clove, cinnamon, all the good stuff. And then there's some beef broth as well. So water and broth, and then, cooking the beef will add more broth. And this is commonly also done with short ribs. I just grabbed a beef stewing meat because thought it'd be quick and easy. And also, short ribs are expensive, honestly, if you're just shredding them up. I'd rather eat a nice short rib like on its own as opposed to like just, just shredding it. All right. So I'm just going to take my fork here and mash this up. And it's going to be beautiful. Oh, it smells so good. I was snacking on this earlier. So if you've never had birra tacos, like, what are you waiting for? First of all, seek them out where you live and eat them immediately because they're fantastic. So look, I mean, this is awesome, right? Awesome. Bruh. Oh, I already got a bruh from Rich in the first, 6 minutes of the stream? Wow, that's a record. He usually doesn't say that till towards the end. If you have bruh from Rich on your stream bingo, you can go ahead and check that off now. Rich, I'll send you the recipe that I use, but also I'm going to post this whole recipe, obviously, probably in a week or so. So I'm going to set this aside and let it cool for a minute, and I'm going to do some of the topping stuff. So usually when it's served, it's only meat and cheese in the taco, and then you put onions and cilantro in the dipping liquid. I'll make it. And it's good, I mean, that could just be regular tacos, your regular weekly tacos, and it's great. I know you've been doing a lot of bulk cooking and freezing, and it's great for that too because you have all that nice liquid, and you freeze it up in the liquid, and then when you thaw it, it's perfect. So, yeah, just a nice dice of the onions. Try to go as fine as you can, I would say. And I'm going to put these in a bowl. And then I have some cilantro behind me that I'm going to put in the other bowl. And, I haven't worked with those dried peppers in a while. I used to do it all the time. But I did have some on hand. We have to move in a week or two. So I've been doing a lot of what's around cooking, which I love. So, I had these spring roll wrappers that have been in the freezer for a while. I need freezer space right now. I had these dried chilies that have been sitting there forever. So I thought this was popped into my head, and I was like, wow, this is actually perfect because I have so many of these things already. And I just washed this cilantro earlier, and I'm chopping it up finely. Get rid of the big stems, but keep the small stems. I don't like to meticulously pick at herbs unless the stems are real woody. Especially cilantro stems, they're tasty. They're common in Thai cooking. Even the roots. Yeah, Rich, what are you going to take a half hour and pick every leaf off when you're losing that delicious stem flavor? All right, perfect. Now, let's see. Trying to decide if I want this cutting board or not. I think I'll keep it. So I have the spring roll wrappers, and I don't know if you all at home have made spring rolls or not. It's different than the egg rolls. And egg rolls you can get the wrappers like at any grocery store, but spring rolls you usually do have to go to a specialty store, Asian market, and it's just basically like it's just pastry, thin pastry sheets. And they are frozen, and you just have to let them thaw out. And you want to basically have like a damp towel so that they don't get dried out. I was worried because I had these for a while, but they look pretty good. And we can always like double wrap them and stuff because they're so thin. I'm gonna grab the cheese, and then we'll make one. Ooh, I forgot something. It was the cheese. Nice. All right. Just checking all the temperatures here. The various temperatures. So as you can see, these are super thin. And there is like a rip, which is fine. So we're just gonna keep the rip at the edge there. And I'm gonna put some cheese in. Spread it out a little bit. And then I'm gonna put the meat in. And I really want to make sure not to overstuff this. So I think that's good. Can you see this? Are we good? Yeah, deep frying, Rich. I'm concerned that the meat is like too warm right now. I think we're fine though. And the only reason I say too warm is I just don't want like the wrapper to like melt, I guess. Would it melt maybe? You want these like you want to really wrap this tight. And don't be afraid to like rewrap, start over. Make sure you have extra wrappers around. All right. Lovely. I honestly think this might be too big and too much filling, but that's okay. We're gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna go less cheese this time. Less meat. No, I wouldn't use egg wash. You know, they're like, it's sticky-ish enough. You could put a little water on here. Let me do it and see. I think that'll be enough, honestly. It's so thin and kind of delicate that they're fine. And the second it hits the oil, this is gonna like harden up immediately. So I think that it's fine in that sense too. I think. I mean, I've done this before, but you know, it's always something different, right? All right, let's try a little smaller one here, and it's tight as hell. Great. Tight, tight. Let me grab some water, and we will do the water this time. I think that this will be good with the water. Just a little insurance. You could like, as it's getting dried out too, you could brush the whole thing with water anyways. So this one feels much better to me in terms of size. And it's tight, so feeling good. They have that rip, so I'm just kind of trying to make sure that everything's sealed all around. All right, let's do like 2 more, and then we can just fry them. I have the oil here, so it's pretty good. I'm gonna put the rip on the side this time. I think that's a better technique. Hey, Vicky. And then just a little cheese there, some of the meat. Keep it light. Roll it up. This is like the time to really tighten it is now, right at the beginning. Especially because like also if you get any holes in the wrapper, it's okay because they'll be on like the inside layer, and then they'll be it'll be rewrapped a few times, so like it doesn't matter if there's really holes. Look at this. 3rd try, I'm already like an expert. Expert. In case you were wondering. All right. This whole one's like feels a little dry to me, so I'm just gonna lightly brush it, the whole thing. Not like you don't have experience. Right, exactly. That's what I was laughing at. I've done this before. I've done these with potatoes, really good. I like spring roll wrappers 100 times better than egg roll wrappers. It's like light, delicate, crispy. Egg rolls, especially when you make them at home, can end up like, they really absorb a lot of oil, in my opinion, and can just be so fatty. That's why I'm surprised like that egg rolls, like cheesesteak egg rolls and stuff, caught on so much at a lot of these chain restaurants. Whereas if we were doing this as spring rolls, like it's a lot better, in my opinion. All right. So I'm just going to keep it at those 4, and we're going to fry them. Because it's America and they want the fat. All right, fair. The wrappers are at Kroger, Dr. Thunder. Yeah. Oh, were you the person who was telling me you have the egg roll party every year? So yeah, I mean, you're probably an expert. You probably don't make them oily, like I do. You know, maybe that's on me. Right, Rich? Just like our pizza parties, egg roll party. All right. You know what? I don't trust my little thing here, so I'm just gonna turn that up like for a minute and then put it back here because I don't want it to be too greasy. And I'm gonna get a plate for when we're done here too, and we plate them up. That's gonna be nice. I'm not scrambling around for that later. And I need a plate for the dipping sauce. So maybe I'll use this guy. I think that'll be good. And the oil is it's like 325 right now. So we're just gonna give it like a minute and we'll be good. And I'll get like a tray to take them out onto. It's always good to have like something ready for when they come out of the oil. That's really important. Feel the same way about the wrap. About what wrap? Maybe I was saying something I didn't remember. So I'm gonna get some of that delicious liquid to put in here. I thought I had a good spoon for that. And again, this is how they serve it. So like traditionally it's a soup, but now they make it into tacos and they put the soup the soup on the side. So now we have the soup on the side. I'm not going to put the cilantro on there yet because I don't want it to wilt. And oil's just about ready. So I'll use this. Always have all your tools ready before you start putting things into oil. Vegetable wrap over the egg wrap. Can't hear it, I know, it's kind of quiet. That's why I'm leaning over it. I know you like that, the sound. But, I mean, deep frying is never as loud as, like, sauteing is, though. So, Plus the noise filters built in here probably like are eliminating some of that. You can hear it, great. This is very exciting for me personally. So they're nice and firm now, which is nice. And I just think they need to be like one shade darker, really. And you generally want to pull stuff out of the fryer like when you think it needs a little more, because sometimes the cheese might start exploding out of it, and or like also it'll darken one more shade after it comes out, honestly. So good. I just did like a cheddar blend. What I had, I guess. You could do, what is it called? Chihuahua cheese would be good. Also, cotija cheese would be great. And I guess more traditional. So light and flaky, and you can hear it. So we're gonna just cut these in half. I'm gonna do those later, Rich, and take the photo with it. So these are always like, I feel like they're always cut on a super bias when you get them. Very hot still. I don't want the cheese to just like ooze everywhere. Oh, they smell so good. So you may notice like what I did was very slightly got the knife in first and then did a really quick one. If you do like a slow cut, the pastry will crumble a lot more, and we don't want the pastry to crumble like that. All right, let's get in here for a minute. Are you guys getting seasick? It's very confusing which direction I'm like focusing the camera sometimes. Okay. This is like the fancy restaurant plating, I guess, right? Oh no. All right, did it. Oh yeah, last part. I would pay for these. Of course you would. Everything I make you would pay for. I like how oozy this one looks. I have to agree with you, Rich. One of the best things I have made on stream. Man, the sauce is like, there's some ancho and chipotle chilies in there. It has like such a deep flavor from those dried chilies, but also like just the right amount of heat. Man, I didn't even get onion or cilantro on that first bite. Now there's the crunch that we were looking for, right? Man. 2 hours left. Well, at least you're getting there, right? Yeah, so these are great. Just the right amount of cheese, a nice balance, a nice super crispy crunch to them. Highly recommend you making this at home. As always, thank you for watching the stream. Kind of a quick one today, but I wanted to do that beef ahead of time, obviously. So keep an eye out for this recipe coming to my website, maybe by next week. Love that you're making them. Make sure you tag me if you make them. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for joining in.